to decide the exact way I wanted to shoot it, but have a backup plan if something went bad. There's no reason to miss that steel, but I miss targets, and I'm sure y'all miss targets occasionally when there's no reason to. The way that I chose to shoot it was pull the magazine out of the drawer at the start when I got the gun and lay it on the desk, because I knew I was going to finish up and need a reload going to this side. I didn't want to have to reach across my body to get the mag, so I picked it up and put it here. I don't know how many of y'all picked your reload up and got it out of the drawer. I know Morgan did. Okay. All right. You don't want to have to reach over here and get something if you don't have to, especially if you're going to this direction, and probably most of us being right-handers. Everybody right-handers?
No.
Nope. Left-hander? Okay. Might have been a little different for you, but you still would have been better off to get the mag out.
Right.
All right. So first key, get the mag out, put it down where you know where it's at. How many of you put more than one mag in the drawer? Very good, because things don't always work well. Have at least one more magazine. All right. And the sequence that I intended to shoot it and did was chargers, then the steel, and I did stand up. How many of y'all stood up? Everybody stand up? Okay. Shoot the charger seated, obviously. Stand up, shoot the steel, static, the up and up. Pick up the magazine that you've put on the desk, reload into these two targets. You ought to have a backup plan, otherwise you're going to give up a bunch of points. My backup plan was charger, shoot the steel, miss the steel, shoot the steel again, and I'm going to leave that static target at that point. That's the one I'm going to let go. And I'm going to get these two. I'm going to come back one round on that, or I'm going to put 3 rounds on this, because I'm probably going to be in a really big hurry at that point. And I'm going to reload into that target and come over here. Okay?
What would you do different if you were CDP, starting with 9 rounds in the gun?
Let's see. It's a good question. 2, 4.
Would you just leave the static?
I would have left the static. Yeah, that
Okay.
would have been what I would have done. Exactly. So, you know, you've got to commit to hitting that steel, and you've got to commit to hitting it with the first shot. Also need to have a backup plan if you do miss it that first shot, because you're gonna, you know, the way we shot it, or the way most of us shot, was shooting the steel after standing or while standing. So that movement, that's just about the right distance to give you a little bit of a jolt. You know, if the target was 3 or 4 yards closer, there's very little chance of missing it. All right, sounds like it's a little bit different. The way I just described it, a little bit different than some of you shot it. Because the way I shot it, 2 chargers, steel, static, up, down, that's 11 rounds.
Oh, static in there. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I shot the static. We shot the static after we shot the steel. So it was steel, static, up, down, up, down.
And you can do that.
You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time. The reason that this, you know, I said that this was not one of my best stages. I shot pretty good points for the whole match, but I got loose on that target because I just got in a hurry. My mind told my body to panic. All right, it's what happens to us. The mind tells our body to panic. You know, you had plenty of time, forever. Okay, every one of you've got forever to do it, just the way I said. But I didn't have a sight picture on that target, and I think I hit a down 4. Okay.
So if you're going to avoid that panic, could one thing be to, after you engage the 2 runners, which kind of gets you moving pretty fast, as you stand up, get your mind to calm before you execute that shot on that steel?
Absolutely.
Because if you miss that steel, it's going to throw everything into an array, but it makes more sense to really focus in on that steel.
Well, you know, Morgan, that's a great point, because I had down zeros on the runners. I center punched the steel. I watched the bullet hit the steel, and then I had 2 down zeros on the static. So I'm doing just exactly what you described, and that's the right thing. But then I panicked on the 2 up down because I know they're going away. Crazy. You know, why do we do that? I can't answer
Well,
that. Your mind tells your body to
That was going to be my
panic.
question. Why do you, I mean, you being experienced as you are, still felt that panic going across?
Your mind tells your body to panic, and that's for regardless of whether you're shooting IDPA, USPSA, 3-gun. It doesn't matter. The key to being successful is to not let your mind tell your body to panic. Practice, good structured practice, major matches, and just, you don't want to ever have negative thoughts. You know, I see people all the time say, oh, I got to avoid this no-shoot. I got to avoid this no-shoot. That's bad. Don't think like that. And we all fall into that. Well, I won't say everybody, but more than half of us fall into that category. Is we're looking at a stage, we try to see the things we got to avoid. Nah, those don't exist. You know, Ignore those. You're not gonna shoot them. You're not going to intentionally shoot a no shoot. Don't think about the no shoot. Okay. Think about where on the target you are going to, the shoot target where you are going to hit. So on these targets, think about I'm going to shoot down zeros, just like you would on this static target. It's the same thing. Get a sight picture, press the trigger, drive on. Don't let your mind tell your body to panic, which I did yesterday. Okay.
One question for the not real good shooters.
We're all good shooters. You haven't scared me yet, so you're a good shooter.
Okay. Would it be better to give myself more time, do this pepper popper, and then wait on the up downs before I engage the static there?
That is a great question that I can't answer.
I don't think I could get 6 sight pictures in the time that I had for the up down.
You might not can. Okay. I don't know your skills. Okay. I'm telling you the way that I shot it and the most efficient way to shoot it. If you feel like that you couldn't do that because you've only been shooting a year, okay, that's okay. The plan you would go with, the plan you would start with, is my fallback plan, which is to leave the static. All right, I would go steel, I'd chargers, steel, up down, static, pick up the mag, reload over. Okay? But you've got to make that. I can't tell you that because I may have seen you shoot, but I can't remember everybody I see shoot. You got to make that decision. And what I was going to have you do, and I will still, is I'm going to let you, if we've got time, you can shoot it twice. All right? But if you don't have time, I want you to tell me which way you're going to do it and tell me why. Okay? If it's because you're not comfortable, but if you tell me you're not comfortable shooting that static before you shoot the 2 up down, what I'm going to be looking for is, did you have to wait? All right? Did you have to wait? Tell you, I hope, that, hey, you were waiting, which tells me that your skill level exceeds what your mind is telling your body you can do. Yeah, because I think you're going to find that maybe you do have time. And this stage is going to vary shooter to shooter timing-wise. They're not perfect. All right? All good questions. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Let's bust a cap.
Show us how it's done.
No shooting. I don't ready. Shoot.
Shooter's ready.
Stand by. Ideal. 1042. Very good.